Woo-wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day, home of the most painfully honest knife reviews on the market. And we are going to be honestly going over this guy right here. So this, sent to me by Thrasher's Garage. Don't just check out the channel, but subscribe to the channel, along with Choir Boys, Cutlery Choir Boys with a Z, Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors, who Thrasher's Garage sent this to and then had him forward it to me. So now I've seen a couple things on this already, and I did like a little preview type thing of it, and there was a little love-hate. I'm not going to lie to you. And if I wasn't being honest, I wouldn't say that. You know, this, I have to be honest. I have to be honest. Are we going to find out if this thing works like a knife? If your main thing is, does the knife work? Yeah, we're going to find that out. But we're also going to find out, does the design match the usability, I guess, you know? So now it looks like this is the first production run, right? So it's signed, and this one, I'm not sure what they did different, if anything, in the regular production. I noticed that the color is like a stone wash, and oh, then they do have some black. So I guess they do have all the colors, but we're gonna go over everything in this. It says the Nymble X is here. Beefy 3.5-inch Bowler M390 blade, which is great. They have T8 hardware. That's really good titanium. All the aspects you know and love from the Nymble. So I'm assuming maybe this is just bigger than the original Nymble. I don't know. I don't know the original Nymble. Now, the price tag on this is about $350, right? But is it a $350 knife? That's what we want to find out. Because you could put a price tag on anything, right? I mean, I could pick this thing up and say this ab wheel is $20. And somebody else could say the same thing and say, I made this myself in Idaho, so this one is $700. And, you know, so you can take something that's comparable to something else and give it any price you want for any excuse you want, right? Same materials, same anything, and they'll all be different. Now, when I talk about the materials on this thing are great. So don't think I'm like smashing anything. I'm just saying, in general, prices are reflective on who's selling it, right? So we're talking about a blade length of 3.5 inches, a blade height of 1.4 inches, and I'm going to open it. There we go. And then I'm going to describe or explain to you why I made the announcement first. So there you go. You have a nice, healthy, pretty much 1.5 inches. You have a 3.5 millimeter blade stock, which is nice. Your blade grind is flat. I guess it is. For some reason, I looked at it real quick. I thought it was hollow, but no, it is flat. It is superbly flat. Really nice. Handle material is titanium, super light. Handle length is 4.6. Yes, you can hold it if you have man-sized hands. Inches. Total length is 8.1 inches open. Handle thickness is a little bit less than a half inch. A little bit more at the clip, obviously, but a little bit less than a half inch, which is really nice for riding in a pocket. And this thing, I gotta say, is super light. I could see carrying something like this weight-wise and size-wise. This is an absolute carryable size for all occasions, any occasions, right? Let's see, handle finishes. They have frag milled, DLC, and stonewashed. I'm not sure what's DLC, but I'm wondering if it's that black, because that's what this kind of is. What I can tell you, though, is the finish is really nice. It's very, very attractive. It is a frame lock. The pocket clip is titanium, anodized, or bead blasted, or DLC. This looks like it is anodized, or DLC. I don't know. Let's see. The black back spacer is titanium. Hardware is titanium, and it weighs 4.4 ounces with ceramic bearings on hardened steel washers. The lock bar is steel with ceramic detent ball. Gift box included. All right, so a manufacturer partner is QSP. I did not know that. I have a QSP snipe that I love, so I know they do build a good knife. So if their build partner is that, they build a good knife. So first things first, seeing this, I saw this and I was like, it reminds me of a hand grenade. I love that personally because I love throwing grenades. And I saw this, and I saw this really sweet. First of all, you have your thumb notch there, but then you have this this detent right here, and I can lock my fingers in there and just open this all day long with ease, right? You only need one hand. But it's very, very easy to open the traditional way. The problem is this guy right here. Okay, that worked out pretty decent. If you hit it like right now, you see how white my finger is? I am pushing with all my power straight down on this, right? And it's not like it's made bad. It's nicely jimped and it's got enough real estate to use. But the problem is if you hit this at the wrong angle, it's going to be no thank you to open. If you hit it at the right angle, it snaps open every time really nicely. The problem is, oh, see, I missed it. I missed it again. You have to find that sweet spot for the flipper. Otherwise, you see that dent in my hand? I'm not joking. I'm not being a douchebag, and I'm not trying to like slam somebody's product. I'm going to be very honest. If it's doing that to my finger, that's a problem. You could even see the jimping inside my finger. That's 100% force being pushed down on this thing, and it's completely killing blood capillaries in my finger and ruining my skin, right? You have to find the sweet spot, and when you do, that's nice. But even if you don't want to use the flipper, it's still going to open. Now, when it comes to design, I love everything about it except the flat top, that Frankenstein head thing. That's the only part I didn't care too much for. And once it's open, you can see why it's that way. The blade itself is gorgeous. I'm talking gorgeous. You're taking like a drop point sheep's foot, but you're throwing a belly on it, and you're giving it a really nice usable finger choil, which is important. I love that. The only other thing is titanium. If you're not used to titanium, you put it in your hand the first time you grab it, because titanium is so light, it goes into your hand and you're like, it feels cheap. This feels like one of those $10 gas station knives, right? Just because you're feeling the metal, and they always just use like some kind of tin or something which is really light, so it gives you that thought, that feel. Believe me, it is not cheap. Just because it is really light and gonna give you that almost cheap feel, it is really, really great material. And I mean great, like Frosted Flakes great, right? So that is a negative to the immediate touch, but when you know ahead of time what you should be expecting to feel because you know the material, then you're going to love it. You're just going to love it. The shape of the rear is great. Instead of a lanyard hole, they give you a strap hole. So much better. Now you have tons more options just from that right there. EDC, that means everyday carry. Would I be able to everyday carry a knife like this? 157%. This is a really nice knife. Just because the flipper, yeah, there it goes, can bite you, that does nothing for me. I mean, nothing against it, because I could just use this. And since I've been playing with it, that's one of the things I've been doing, is just opening it up without the flipper and doing it that way. And then people say, well, how do you know it's a flipper? What if it's just blah, blah, blah? Well, because it's jimped. It wouldn't be a flipper if it wasn't jimped. It wouldn't be made for that. The fact that they put those little grooves on there means they intend you to be able to put your finger on there and do that. You just have to have the right angles. As far as the jimping is concerned, this jimping right here on the spine, I mean, they nailed it. It is 100% non-aggressive, yet 100% effective. Not only that, but it is a thumb jimp and a skinning jimp all at the same time. All in one. Fantastic there. But what we really need to do is use it. Let's see now remember, this is a used edge by at least 2 different people before me. So we're going to try and see if it's going to shave hair. And it's not. It's not shaving hair right now because it's a used edge. It's just not that sharp. And you'll see a lot of people do like paper cutting tests And the reason I do hair tests is because this, I guarantee you, I don't have a piece of paper next to me, but I guarantee you will cut paper. I guarantee you this edge will cut paper. And when people are doing the paper things, that's great. It's showing that it can cut paper, but unless it can shave, I don't want to know about the edge. I need to know that's thing sharp. Now, some people are bald all over the place and they can't shave, so I get it. But this will cut paper. I'm not going to shave some hair. Who knows? Maybe I'll strop it and see what happens. Let's see if that did anything. Oh. All right. So now that was actually super easy. So again, just bringing back the edge, which worked. That worked out really well. It made it shave sharp. So that took nothing. It was literally, it wasn't even breaking hairs when it started. It shaved sharp there. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go outside. We're going to use it. Then I'm going to wash it and I'll oil it and I'll strop it and then I'll oil it and send it back to him nice and sharp. So don't think he's getting some hairy dull blade after I use this. All right, let's go out. All right, so let's work the stump here. We're going to do a couple of 4-foot drops, 4 feet between the tip and the stump. The stip. Man, my English is terrible. And we're just going to watch how far over it falls. Now, because this is so light, and when we do this, remember, balance, when we talk about balance in a folder, unless it's a giant folder, it doesn't really matter. It's not going to be one of those, oh, you're flipping it all over the place and you need crazy balance. That's just a word I like to use when I want to see where the weight distribution is. You can see that they have a piece here. Oh, and this is numbered too. It's kind of reflective and it might be upside down. I think it's like out of 100, it's 50. So it's a numbered piece. So I really should be gentle with it. I'm not gonna be, but I really should be. And I have to say, outside in the light, the handle finish is so much nicer. That is beautiful, guys. They did a phenomenal job making this gorgeous. All right, so the balance, I just want to see where it's going to fall. Balance means nothing in a folding knife, really, because you're not using it for anything. If it was used for, oh, it's stuck, and then it broke away. If it was used for throwing, all right, so maybe now balance comes in. All right, speaking of throwing, let's do a couple hard downward throws. We're going to see if the frame, wait, it said liner lock, I thought, but no, maybe it said frame lock. We're going to see if the frame lock disengages or has any problem, and we're going to make sure the tip is good and the scales don't go anywhere, right? Oh, and we want to test the bite, of course. And that bit, oh my gosh, that is nice. That is nice. Yeah, that worked out really well. The lock was good. We can double check the lock by smashing on it. And I'm hitting it pretty hard. It's no loosening, no problems, no closing. Everything is right and tight. After doing that, am I going to have any problems? No. Opening, closing, doing everything exactly the way it should. I'll tell you what, when you do find the sweet spot on that flipper, golly, there's not too many nicer than that. There's not too many nicer. It's finding it. But once you do, golly. All right, let's try a push cut on the 1/2-inch nylon rope. See if we can get you guys in a little tighter, little more with me here. Hey, get back up here. All right, push cut. And okay, I had to drag a little bit, but pretty much that was a push cut. That was as close to a push cut without being a true push cut as a push cut can be. And again, a used edge. I only stropped it. 4 layers of leather belt. That was nice. That was so nice. Now we're going to try and cut the extension cord. Now remember, with a folder, I'm going to get way back here. It's a little harder on a folder to get the momentum, but all these little squares right here are actually, I can feel them. I can feel them. It's giving me a good hold. Bam! That was super clean. That was super clean. All right, let's see what we got here. Got a nice piece of something. All right, so a little sycamore. Let's see if we can't find a sweet spot on this. Oh, we got too many bumps for that. This is not a very straight piece. It's going like that. So it's going to be a little difficult, but we're going to see if we can't take some of this hard stuff away and then really go to work. So as far as these curls, holy smokes. The edge geometry is immediately easy to use. And I'm talking immediate. It's like there's no learning curve in the, where is it? In the geometry of that edge. None. It's absolutely instant. That looks like those little chocolate curly things they put on like hot cocoa and lattes. That's what I got out of it. So far, so good. Let's see, we got the tire. Let's check it out. We got the dogs. Well, we got one of them anyway. Where's the other? He'll come running eventually. All right, so let's check this thing out. Oh, that was a little rough. Oh, there it goes though. There it goes. There it goes. So, oh man, and look at that. I'm even prying with it. See all those? Went through everything. Ugh, through that sidewall. No problem. No loosening. It's closing and opening fine. You know what? Let's do this too. Let's dig that in there into the stump. Am I on frame there? Yeah, it's right there. All right, let's do a couple pulls. So remember, this is your EDC, an everyday carry knife, which means it should be more than capable of opening boxes. It should be able to do a lot more. And I don't see this blade having a problem doing so much more. So much more. This is actually, in the hand is really nice. It's really nice in the hand. All right. So now remember, EMP, that's what EMP, EDC. EMP did not send me this knife. This was from somebody who owns the knife. I have nothing involved with this knife. So if I say anything nice about it, it's because nice things are happening, right? Let's see if we can, oh man. I love the fact that I can do this with certain knives, and certain knives absolutely have, probably just got stuck in the choil, have problems doing that. Knives that are supposed to be bushcraft knives have trouble doing that. Let's see if we can't wind it up a little bit, get a nice thick bunch here. Tear it up. Tear it up. But yeah, it's pretty crazy how some can and some can't go through this. And a lot of it is in the tip and the edge geometry. It's really what it comes down to. And this has phenomenal both tip and edge geometry. All right, so we got a soccer ball here. Let's see, speaking of the tip, goes straight through and we hit that leather, no problem. I can see this being an absolute winner in your pocket. Now, to say, is it worth $350? It depends on what you like to buy. Man, that was nice. The blade steel is great. The steel itself is really expensive. If you've ever made a knife, and I know I've made a few, and that's why I buy 1084 generally, the blade steel is really, really expensive. So while, yes, you can make it for less than $350, you can, it's possible. Then you have to account in for the kind of titanium, where they're getting it from, you know, and then there's just all kinds of stuff that goes into the price. So is it a $350 value? That depends on you. Would I pay $350 for it? Me personally, would I pay $350? Maybe not. Maybe not. But does that mean I'm saying it's not worth $350? Not saying that at all. Not saying that at all. I think it's I think so far I'm pretty impressed with it. Uh-oh. And you know, the last one that I tested was like a $500 knife. Oh, and I said I don't want to throw it because it's not my knife and I don't want to break it. And I threw it anyway. And oh my God, it's terrible. And he said, just throw. Oh, I can't find it. I can't find the throw on it. It's harder than I thought. No spin. All right, there we go. So, so Brandon gave me the go ahead. And believe me, if I broke it, I'd be paying him back for this. all $75. So I have to say, and did I create any damage by doing that? Oh, God, that's the only part that bothers me. No damage at all. No loosening, no nothing. I hit the side. I smashed it on the side. Nothing. I hit the pocket clip. Nothing. There's nothing wrong with this thing. Nothing. This is a really good knife. I was wondering about this too. You know, I had some doubts as soon as I did this and it didn't open and that was happening. I was like, ooh, this knife, I'm not going to like this. Then I did that and it worked. And I went, okay, so maybe it's just, there's a little trick to it. And then I just started going like that. And I was like, all right, well, screw it. I mean, who needs to do that other thing? A lot of people flick them from the underside. Like this one gets a little sticky when you do that. But a lot of people flick from that side. I don't know, man. I've always been a thumb guy. Hey, let's go inside. Come on. So yeah, I mean, once you find that spot, that's boy howdy stuff right there. This knife, if I'm going to be really, really honest, like super, super honest with you, I'm going to tell you, I don't like the K-Bar USMC. But that has nothing to do with this. I like this. This is freaking awesome. It's actually a really good knife. It's drawback, and I didn't say drawbacks with an S. I said it's drawback, where this can need to be. Look at that! Look at the difference in color of my nail. Well, it was just white. But that's the only drawback, is finding that. But once you find it, see how simple it is. The drawback, it doesn't really count, since you have secondary method to open the knife. So if you could only open the knife by right there, I would say no, this is not the knife for you. But because you can open the knife in other ways, then who cares? Who cares if you have to find a sweet spot or not? This, you don't have to find anything. It's right there. You don't have to do anything. It's just simple. But this thing's a winner. This thing is definitely a winner. I think whoever designed it, you know, where there's a point where I think it looks goofy flat, and then how just the opening thing, I think that's the only part of the design that would bug me. But as far as when it's open and you're looking at this, that's really nice. It's crazy attractive. It's beautiful. And it functions. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. The knifes. That there is pretty sweet. So I gotta say, this one was A-okay. All right, so we're looking at 23 minutes. So that's it for this one. I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.